Brewing tensions between Washington and Ankara escalated this week when Turkish warplanes bombed a US-backed Kurdish militia in Syria known as the YPG. The airstrikes followed an arguably rash announcement by the US. American officials said they had plans to help the Kurdish YPG set up a 30,000-strong security force on the Turkey-Syria border. Too close for comfort for the Turks, who regard the YPG as a terrorist organization.
Batıdan başlayarak kademe kademe bu koridoru da yerle yeksan edeceğiz. Afrin operasyonu sahada fiilen başlamıştır.
The YPG have direct links to Turkey's rebellious Kurdish separatist group, the PKK. They're an armed organization that has battled for Kurdish rights for over 3 decades. The bloody conflict has claimed the lives of tens of thousands, including Turkish soldiers, PKK fighters, as well as civilians. So when the US expressed an interest in placing a security force comprised of Kurds on Turkey's doorsteps, the existing hostility took a turn for the worst. A violent reaction ensued, with Turkish artillery and airstrikes targeting Kurdish positions, to which the YPG responded with shelling of their own. The next day, Turkey's military launched a ground incursion into the Kurdish-controlled enclave of Afrin, just south of the Turkish border. Afrin is one of 3 self-declared cantons in Syria's Kurdish region, a pseudo-state within a state. Syria's north has always been a Kurdish-majority region, though greatly marginalized by Damascus. But it wasn't until 2012 that the leading political parties, emboldened by a successful military campaign against ISIL, declared a de facto state known as Rojava. So what's at stake for Turkey, the Kurds, and America? America's ongoing support for Syria's Kurds could fuel a sense of cross-border grandeur, and this could easily embolden Turkey's 20 million Kurds, a culturally and linguistically distinct community. And while the Turks are locked in an ongoing battle to quash the PKK and the YPG, Syria's Kurds are warring to keep the autonomy they have fought tooth and nail to obtain. Meanwhile, the US says it wants to maintain an open-ended presence in Syria in an attempt to help rebuild the country now that ISIL has been defeated militarily. But this is a daunting task, even for the US, which will inevitably become further entangled in an extremely complex chess game played by a myriad of players, each rooting for their own interests.